Hey guys, Ben here. Welcome back to another live stream. We are finally back with another live stream. I'm very excited. This is the DCTV show episode 70. So it's a big milestone. We're returning and also it's episode 70, so that's very exciting. So yeah, we got lots of stuff to talk about today as per usual. If you guys are regulars to live streams and you're back, thank you for coming back. I'm sorry that it's been a while. I had a ridiculously busy May. I literally had no time for any live streams. If you followed me anywhere, you would have known that. But yeah, pretty busy, but we're back and we are doing normal live streams. So please be sure to stay tuned. So the reason this stream is actually not on a Thursday, so normally we stream on Thursdays, so tomorrow, is that I'm actually going away tomorrow. So I couldn't do that. And I thought it was just best to do it the night before. So no worries, but I'll be back by the time of next Thursday for another live stream. So yeah, super exciting. And just as always, guys, we have a lot of topics to go through. We obviously have our notes and we're going to be breaking everything down. However, the best way to get your questions, theories, topics, ideas, whatever it is, answered in the live stream is to send them in via super chats. How do you send them in? Well, if you guys don't remember, or if you're new, you click the $ underneath the chat function and you click on it, click super chat, select any amount you want. It goes all towards the channel and your support is greatly appreciated. But more importantly, you can send in any question. I'll pop it up on the screen like this, like Jamie here, who is a member of the channel. And you'll be popped up on the screen and we'll talk about it as like a whole big topic. So yeah, please be sure to start sending in your super chat questions if you have any. So we're going to be going ahead and actually just saying hi and, reintroducing and then going right into our topics. And we're going to start with The Flash and then we're going to go into Superman and Lois because Superman and Lois just premiered last night. And with The Flash, we got The Flash tonight. It's a big episode. We're going to be talking about it. And we will also talk about the cancellations in the Arrowverse because we haven't done that. We haven't talked about it in the live stream yet. So I thought, it's been a while, but let's talk about it in the live stream. So first things first, welcome back to everyone. Jamie, Nathan, Roblox, and everyone else who I can see in the chat and also just watching. Please be sure to stick around throughout the whole stream. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about The Flash. This is the first thing we're going to be talking about. So The Flash is back on tonight. We had like a week break. It's been a while. I'm very, very excited to have The Flash back on. My video is going to be out tomorrow, my review and breakdown of the episode. That will come roughly around like maybe 7 p.m. UK time. That's normally the time I try and upload my videos. So translate that to whatever time zone you're in, and that is kind of like the best way to go about that. But actually, before we actually talk about The Flash and talk about the new speedster who is coming to The Flash tonight, that is the big topic of The Flash. And also the return of a very infamous character, so stick around for that. We're going to be answering Atlantic Ocean Super Chat. Thank you so much, Atlantic Ocean, for supporting the channel like this. It sends in a $17.99 Super Chat. I really appreciate it. It's so big, the question, and you guys can make your question as long as you want. That is literally like covering up the whole screen. So yeah, there you go. Atlantic Ocean, thank you very much for the support towards the channel. I really appreciate it. Atlantic Ocean says, is there any more news on Sasha as Supergirl and the new Flash movie? Is it true she might be having a Is it true she might have a solo film after the Flash movie? And will she have a big part in the movie? Well, thank you very much for the question. This is a very good question. I like to talk about and kind of check back in with the Flash and Supergirl in the DCEU every once in a while. I've been enjoying making some videos on it because I'm genuinely like really hyped to see the DCEU Supergirl. So right now there's no new news. However, I believe there was like some behind the scenes that was released. There was a convention, there was like an expo, and they basically showed a different kind of a close-up look at Supergirl's suit. That was probably the latest thing that I've seen. So if you guys didn't check out my video, Atlantic Ocean specifically, if you didn't check out my video, there is a Supergirl video related to this up on the channel, and that was the latest news that I have seen. Now, there might be something new sometime soon, hopefully, but for now, The Flash got delayed again, so it's not going to come out till like 2023. So we still got a while. I don't think they're going to release like a new trailer like they just released the Black Adam trailer. It's really good. I'm very much so looking forward to Black Adam. So no new trailer, but in terms of post when The Flash finally releases, it's true there's been talk that, they are developing a Supergirl film, but that was even before Sasha came on board. But now that they have a Supergirl, surely after the release of The Flash, they're going to want to have a Supergirl film in development, and that's going to be my guess. I mean, they're making like Blue Beetle, Batgirl, so why not make Supergirl as well? Because Supergirl is big because of Melissa and because of the Arrowverse, and this would make a lot of sense. And will she have a big part of the movie? I'm not actually sure as of right now, but yeah, she was on set for a substantial lot of the filming. So thank you very much once again, Atlantic Ocean, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's move on. Let's go back to the Flash. And again, if you send in any super chats, we'll stop and we'll go back and discuss it. And I will answer all your other questions as best as I can throughout the live stream, but I just need to hit some of my topics and then I will hop over to your chat questions. But I appreciate you guys sending in the questions. I do see them popping up. And don't worry if you have your questions, just don't repeat them so much because I always have the function that I can scroll up and go back to it. So I will read it. Don't worry about that. Okay, so yeah, The Flash is back on tonight. This is very, very exciting. And there is a new speedster who is in town. And at first, according to the trailer, and I just rewatched the trailer just to double check, Barry initially thinks that Thorne is back. That is his initial instincts. And that makes sense because, you always got to be wary, like, is Thorne going to come back or what's his next move, right? And Barry doesn't know about any new speedsters. Like, he hasn't detected anything. So, with that in mind, he basically goes to Lian Yu. Apparently, that is where Argus has Thorne locked up in, like, one of the most isolated places on Earth, I guess. And so Barry goes all that way to visit him. And it's after, he gets a kind of, like, shock. He's like, why is there a speedster in town? Like, if this was like Wally or Nora or Bart, they would have let him know, right? And this is why he goes to Thorne. So it's very exciting to have Thorne back. Let me know in the chat, are you excited to see Reverse Flash return? It's been like a fairly decent while since we've seen him. I don't know how many specific episodes, but he was definitely in, the last time was Armageddon. So it's been like just over 10 episodes, like 12 episodes since we last saw him. So I'm very excited, but I'm more excited to see actually the new speedster. Now, who's this new speedster? It could be anyone. However, we know that, in fact, this speedster is someone from the comics. And this is a spoiler, so watch out for spoilers here, guys. But the speedster is, in fact, Mina Darwin. Mina is a big character in the comics. She was introduced at the same time as Godspeed. She was initially a good speedster. She was helping out Barry after this big kind of Speed Force storm that we talked about in the past, in past videos. At the end of season 3, there was a Speed Force storm, and we were like theorizing, are we gonna get like Mina out of this? Are we're going to get Godspeed. We eventually got Godspeed, and now we are finally getting Tamina, which is very, very exciting for the show because it's a new speedster. And yes, it could be, in fact, the person that Bart kissed. However, that person is not Mina, and that person is, in fact, Avery Ho. And Avery is a speedster in the comics. She's probably going to come back, maybe at the end of the season. But for now, I'm pretty sure this is Mina, so we'll have to wait and see. But it would be nice to go back to Avery now that you bring it up again, because we haven't seen her since Bart in that episode. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and read some of the chat and let's see what's going on. What do you think of the Flash Season 8 so far? Roblox says, it's been pretty good. There's some very strong episodes, but also, like, I actually can't remember, like, a lot of the season. I think Armageddon was definitely one of the most memorable bits of the season, because, like, that's just something I think back. I think Armageddon, I can remember the episodes, but I can't remember all of the specific episodes without obviously going back and checking my notes or checking the synopsis or the episode. But that's just a personal thing. I know a lot of you guys probably remember absolutely everything. I used to be like that, but I swear my memory is getting worse and worse. So I really do have to go back and check the synopsis just to remind myself what happened in every single episode. Obviously, I remember like the last 3 episodes, but I'm talking like 10 episodes ago. You know, I can't remember at all until I get a reminder. But yeah, hopefully that answered your question. Like, it's pretty good right now, but not like the most memorable apart from like a couple of episodes and Armageddon. Cal can't wait to see the new Speedster. Yeah, I can't wait to see the new Speedster. It's definitely going to be something that is going to be awesome when it happens on screen. Like, I think everyone's going to freak out about it. I can't wait to talk about it tomorrow. Amy says, "Hey there from Australia. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining." Mayata's saying, "I'm getting old." Yeah, I guess I am. All right, we have Gary here. Gary has arrived. Welcome back, Gary. This is our first live stream in a month. So great to have you, Gary. Stick around for the live stream if you want. You are awesome. Thanks for supporting the channel once again, as usual, Gary. And I hope you're doing well as well. Hopefully good in Texas. And be careful. Don't be shaving those legs. You know? That's an inside joke for you guys who are old school live stream fans. Okay. So Gary says, "Hey, what's up, Ben? Good. You are streaming. How are you?" I'm fine, Gary. I hope you're fine. I hope everything's going well. And yeah, we are back to streaming. Weekly streams are very exciting. And I hope you guys tune in every single week. It's going to be Thursday. I will announce it if I change the live stream date anytime. So please be sure to follow me on Twitter if you don't. I know Gary follows me on Twitter. I know lots of you guys do. And that is like the best place. But also I do sometimes post on the community tab. And that is a way that you can be notified about the streams or about like videos coming out. But thank you so much for supporting and sending the $4.99, Gary. Gary sends in another super chat. And in this super chat, Gary says, "In Superman and Lois, do you think Kyle and Lois will get back together?" Oh, you mean Kyle and Lana, right? Good question. We will talk about Superman and Lois in just a bit, but for now, I will answer your question. I think they're kind of heading back towards that, especially with how this episode ended, with them kind of like having a family dinner. Although it's very clear that Lana isn't ready for anything like that, I do think they are making amends, and slowly but surely that could be a possibility. I'm not saying that's 100%, Gary. I'm saying that it could definitely happen. But for now, we'll just have to see where it goes. Thanks for the super chat once again, Gary. Okay, we have another super chat. This comes from Cal Roswell. Thanks for the 99 cents. I really appreciate it. You're awesome, Cal, and thanks for being a member. I saw that you were a member for it says 9 months, and Jamie has been a member for 16 months. You guys are OGs, sticking around. Like I always get notifications when members have been like for every single month. It notifies me. So you guys are awesome. Thanks again, Cal. Okay, so yeah, this is the start of the next graphic novel. Going back to The Flash quickly. Tonight's episode, according to Eric Wallace, he just posted a tweet on Twitter saying that it's actually quite Allegra-centric. I don't know if he specifically, and I'm just going to pull up the tweet just so for my reference. I don't know if he meant like it's Allegra-centric for the whole graphic novel, or if it's just for tonight's episode. So Eric Wallace said this: a new graphic novel starts tonight with Allegra Garcia, who's having a really bad day. Oh, okay, so it just starts with Allegra Garcia. He's having a really bad day, and then he says, oh, and stick around for that final scene. The path to our shocking season finale begins here. So that shocking season finale is definitely to do with Reverse Flash. That's my best bet. But also the fact that the new speedster is showing up, that is definitely important to the ending of the season as a whole. And yeah, so it's not Allegra-centric, the whole graphic novel. Like, that actually is a big relief, like properly rereading it, because I read this earlier thinking, oh, the whole graphic novel is Allegra-centric. I was like, yeah, not really like living for that. But at the end of the day, it just starts off the episode. That's what Eric is inferring, that we begin with Allegra. She's having a bad day, and then the episode continues from there, and the graphic novel winds off from there. Gary also sent in another super chat. Thank you very much, Gary. I really appreciate your endless support. Like, you're awesome, Gary. Okay, so yeah, the main graphic novel again is going to be like Reverse Flash. I think speedster-centric. That is my best guess. I don't know who specifically the villain is going to be apart from Reverse Flash. Maybe it could be Reverse Flash, but for now we'll have to wait and see. Remember, we had like the teaser in like maybe 2 episodes ago when Chester's PC was getting hacked. So maybe that plays out. Maybe that's something linked to like another villain. And then also we've got the Iris story that is continuing as usual. And she's going to be gone for like 3 or 4 episodes according to Candace Patton. And also like various other sources that confirmed that she would be gone. But she will return towards the end of the season. And again, I don't know how many episodes there are actually in the season, because they haven't given us like an actual solid count of episodes yet. Okay, Gary sent in another 99-cent super chat. Thank you so much once again, Gary. You are awesome. I feel like I just keep on calling Gary awesome, but you are, truly. Thanks, Gary. Do you think Sarah will find out Clark is Superman? I think Sarah's going to eventually find out that Clark is Superman for sure. I don't know when she's going to find out. I guess the end of the season, of this season, would be a good bet, but potentially it could be maybe next season. Like, I feel like next season latest. I feel like this season finale could definitely be the big reveal, because that is something that is plaguing both sides of the family as of right now. Okay, so if you have any other Flash questions, please be sure to send them in right now. We'll be sure to answer them. But for now, we're going to be moving on to Superman and Lois. We're going to be talking about last night's episode, and then also we'll talk about the cancellations in the Arrowverse. So obviously that is big talk, and we got lots to go through. But let's first start off with Superman and Lois. So I'm sure, and let me know in the chat if you've seen Superman and Lois, because I don't want to spoil all of you guys, but I presume you've watched it. And with that presumption, we're going to go into this topic and actually break it down. So my overall thoughts on Superman and Lois this week. I thought it was definitely a very good episode. I didn't really see anything wrong about it. Chrissy was a bit annoying at one point, but that can be forgiven because she technically saved Superman. But this episode is heavy on the Lucy Lane, Lois, General Lane, and then also Ali, obviously. And you have like various storylines like the Kents finding out, well, the Kent kids finding out about, you know, having to distance from Sarah and her family. I forget her new name. I feel like it's Cortez, the Cortez family. Anyway, it used to be Cushing. But and then also you have Natalie and John Henry Irons, who have their own story, and that kind of connects up by the end of the episode. Yeah, tell me your thoughts on this episode. Sarah says, I have what an insane episode. Absolutely insane. I could not believe that episode. It was crazy, especially that ending. That's for sure. Okay, I'm just changing one thing. Sorry, guys. That's why I'm looking off. But keep sending in your thoughts about this episode. Just got like an error for some reason. Anyway, I'll just ignore that. Mayata says, love it, but I had some issues with characters, but overall it was good. That's good to hear. Gary sends in another 99-cent super chat. Thank you so much, Gary. Gary says, do you think eventually there will be an arc that the whole world will find out Barry is the Flash? I guess eventually that always happens with superheroes. I mean, it happened with Supergirl at the end of her show. It happened with Oliver, and I mean, like at this point, at this rate, like everyone is finding out that Barry is the Flash. So I would not be surprised at all. That's what I'll say, Gary. Thanks for the super chat once again. Okay, let's just hop back into Superman and Lois here. So back on topic, back focusing. So in this episode, we have Lucy Lane who returns. We've seen her in like 2 or 3 episodes this season, and she's very much so been this controversial figure because of her stance on and sort of allegiance to the villain of this season, that being Ali Alston, of course. And with everything that goes down, it's very infuriating and very annoying at times that she is like so adamantly like blind to what's going on, and that's because she hates Lois, and you know she kind of hates her dad as well, and she blames them for a lot of the things that didn't go so right in her life, and she kind of, you know, doesn't take ownership of it, I guess. And so with that, we actually flash back at the start of this episode. We see her 5 years ago meeting Ali Alston for the first time at a book signing for a new book, and that's where we pick up from. And the way that, you know, Lucy's story goes this episode, actually, she's very adamant. You know, she's like, I love Ali. Like, Ali will never hurt me, never hurt anyone that I love. However, it's very clear, and it's been clear for a long time, that Ali has pretty evil intentions, but Lucy has been blind to that. And she's also many times kind of threatened her family. So I don't know why she was like so shocked that Ali was attacking General Lane, but it makes sense. And you know, she's this like parasite now. She is all powerful, and yeah, like it's a pretty big deal. Sorry, I'm just I forgot what I was gonna say. My brain. after not live streaming for a month. That's what happens. You forget stuff when you're trying to just continuously speak. But anyway, so with Lucy, by the end of the episode, with Ali attacking her dad, things go south, and she basically, I think, turns on Ali because of her actions. And it's very clear Ali doesn't care. Like, Ali just wants to merge the worlds. Ali doesn't give like a flying about Lucy. Like, Lucy was just a pawn in her game, right? She was just a chess piece to be moved in order to gain this ultimate power. And like, without her, maybe she wouldn't have even got Superman to come, because Lucy was the one that clicked it, and Lucy has been doing everything in Ali's favor, and she's literally one of the ones that has kind of led her down this path to becoming all powerful and getting these powers. I see your question, Jamie. I'm going to answer it in just a minute. I'm just going to continue with Superman and Lois for a bit, and then we'll pop back over to the Flash. But Cal says, are you going to join the after party soon? Yes, Eric has messaged me. I'm going to be back on the after party again this last month. It's been crazy busy. If you guys didn't know, I do filming as well, and that's kind of like my other job. So yeah, I was pretty damn busy, like filming every day, and I just had no time. So that's why the channel had less videos, and there was less live streams. There was no live streams for like 4 weeks. So I apologize for that. But once again, I want to remind you guys, whilst we're at this segue and we're continuing to talk about Superman and Lois, I want to remind you guys, please be sure to send in super chat questions to get your questions answered. And this is the best way for me to answer your question. Like, I'm going to go through chat and go through your questions bit by bit. However, for now, we are talking about Superman and Lois. So send in those super chat questions, whether it's Superman and Lois, The Flash, or CW, Arrowverse cancellation topics. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, if it's about that, send that in, because that is very important. We're going to be talking about that very, very soon. So yeah, strap in and stay tuned. But send in those super chats by clicking the $sign underneath the chat function. I appreciate your support, and thanks for sending in the questions. Let's just continue with Superman and Lois right here. So everything in Ali's world breaks as she attacks Superman and General Lane. Lucy knows she's wrong, and then Ali, at the end of the episode, big spoiler alert, she tries to freaking merge the two worlds. She's all powerful. She's absorbed Superman's powers. She goes up to God knows where, like in space. But really, how can she go between the two Earths? Like, she's technically in another dimension. Like, she can see both of the Earths, and they're not neighboring planets. They're in alternate universes. They're in the multiverse. So she is between worlds, and she is dragging those two worlds like she's the anti-monitor and colliding them together and merging them. She doesn't want to destroy them. She wants to merge the worlds. That is her goal, so that she is all powerful over all of these worlds and to unlock a lot of people's true potentials, as she says. And so that is what she does at the end of the episode. Looks really cool. Still doesn't like make sense really how she can be in between the two worlds and we can see both of them, but it's cool. She like pulls it in with her powers, and that's how we end the episode. So yeah, that's like a big cliffhanger to kind of continue on from into the next episode. Okay, so Superman at the end of the episode is, well, called upon to die basically by Ali, who goes back to Bizarro World just before she tries to merge the two, and she calls on Lana, Bizarro Lana, to go to our world and actually take out Superman, because she knows that Superman is extremely vulnerable right now. He is on the brink of death, and Lana is going to go after him on a mission and definitely try and kill him. That is definitely their plan. So I don't know how he's going to survive. However, at the end of this episode that we just watched, we have the kind of rest of Superman's allies reuniting and teaming up and being like, we have to do everything in our power to stop Ali and to stop everything, especially while Superman is out of action. And so it's great, and it's definitely good timing that Superboy has got some training. He can now fly like he did in this episode, which we'll talk about in just a second. But also, you have Natalie, who has a new suit, and potentially she can make something for Jonathan. And obviously, John Henry Irons can fight. So they're going to all have to team up together. And obviously, General Lane is out of action as well. So, yeah, there's a couple of things that aren't going their way, but they're going to have to do the best that they can. And talking about Superboy, so Jordan is in training with Clark in this episode. He teaches him finally how to fly. They go out to the ice near the Fortress of Solitude, and he basically tells him to jump off a cliff into this kind of crevice, like ravine, and basically fall until he can end up flying. And so he does it first time, he falls a long way, but then takes off as he lets go of his sphere, and he flies into the sky. And he is so excited. Clark's so excited. This was a great moment in the episode. I really did like this bit. And so that training is definitely going to come into handy in the next episode. So let's just pause on Superman Lois for just 1 second, and we'll hop back to it. We do have a super chat, but also we have Jamie's question. So Jamie has been a member for 16 months. This was his question. Do you think Max Mercury is coming to the Flash? Well, that is what was teased. And Eric Wallace did an interview. Obviously, Eric Wallace is the showrunner of the show. And he said that that inclusion of Max's name was very much so on purpose, and it was teasing something to come. So I think the obvious answer is yes, he's going to come. I don't know if he's going to come this season. I think it would definitely come next season, if not. But thanks for the question, Jamie. I appreciate it. Also, FDR sends in a super chat question. Thank you so much for sending in the $4.99. I really appreciate it, FDR. FDR says, what do you think about them setting up for Cyborg Superman since the DoD got Clark's blood? That could be the case, and definitely since they've got Clark's blood, they might be able to find out some interesting things about Kryptonians or about his personal DNA. But yeah, they could totally do a Cyborg Superman by having his DNA in the DoD. However, we've had Cyborg Superman on Supergirl, and at this rate, I don't know if they're gonna want to like go back Cyborg Superman, because he wasn't like the best villain on Supergirl. So I could see it happening, but I don't know if they're actually gonna want to go do that, because of, I think it's, a little bit infamous, the Cyborg Superman of Supergirl, because it wasn't like the absolute best. Okay, I'm just clicking that. But thank you so much for the super chat, FDR. I really appreciate it. And everyone else who has been sending in super chats throughout this live stream. So we are about halfway through the stream. We're past 30 minutes. I think we'll go up to like 45 minutes or so. But let's hop back on to Superman and Lois. Oh, Cal says this episode of Superman and Lois was a 9 out of 10. I would say like 8.5. I don't think there was anything like too excellent, too crazy to call it a 9. Like personally, I thought it was a really good episode. I have like no problems with it. So I would call that an 8.5 for me, but it's cool that you rate it a 9. I love Jonathan calling Clark out in yesterday's episode. Yeah, that was kind of fun. Mayata says it's a 7 out of 10. Michael says an 8.4. Fair enough, guys. Fair enough. That's your personal opinions. Okay, let's go back to Superman and Lois. So we have Lois and General Lane in this episode. They are teaming up, father and daughter duo, going after Lucy. They find Lucy at this cabin that she's been at. This is where they've been hiding. And obviously in the flashbacks, you see that she had an apartment. I don't know if that was kind of like a mini base of operations for the two of them. However, there is a flashback to maybe a month ago when Ali was sort of MIA for a bit while she was on the other Earth. I think for like a month or so, especially when Superman was gone. So a lot of the members of the cult left because they thought she just like abandoned them and like they didn't truly believe, I guess. But then Lucy, sorry, is the one who's like, guys, we got to stick around. Like, this is important, blah, blah, blah. We cut to present day. We see her there. And that's where Lois and the general find Lucy. And so they confront Lucy. He even like locks himself to Lucy at one point with his cuffs. And she's like, where's the keys? Where's the keys? And he just like unlocks it with his thumbprint. Thought that was a funny, good twist that I definitely didn't think of, and they didn't think of too. So the back and forth between Lois and Lucy continues in this episode. The constant arguments about the way that Lucy perceives Lois and how Lois thinks like Lucy is an important part of her life, but they can never agree on anything. And it literally took Lucy seeing her dad nearly die and Superman getting drained to finally switch and see the truth of Ali Alston. And I'm glad that it finally happened, but it took a long time. Like, it was obvious that she was manipulating from the start, but it wasn't so obvious for Lucy because she was vulnerable and she, found a person that potentially in her eyes loved her and, actually treated her well, unlike Lois. Even though the way they describe it, I don't think Lois seemed that bad, but apparently she was. But yeah, let's continue. So Cal sends in a 199 super chat. Thank you very much, Cal. Cal says, do you think Sarah and Jordan will get back together? Well, it doesn't seem very likely right now. Maybe sometime in the future, but with the two families kind of cut off from each other, doesn't seem like that's going to happen, especially after what Lana said in this episode when Jordan went to confront her. That was a pretty good scene. Like, we can talk about that now. That scene was very intense, and Lana was definitely kind of like going in on Jordan and roasting him a little bit, and I felt bad for Jordan. But at the same time, I understand Lana, and I understand both. But it was kind of, I don't know, I felt more bad for Jordan, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that happens, and she's like, oh, Jordan, if you really love Sarah, you will leave her alone or something. And Jordan kind of understands that. And I think he's going to do it, but they're going to interact. They go to the same school. Like, it's going to be hard. But yeah, as of right now, possibly. I think it's possible, but I'm not going to say it's that likely. I'd say it's probably more likely that Sarah's parents are going to get back together than the two of them, but we'll see. Okay. Thank you so much, Cal, and everyone else who's been sending in super chats. And guys, continue to send in super chats. If you have any questions or topics, or you just want to support the channel, please be sure to do it right now, because we are heading towards the end of the Superman and Lois segment of this live stream, and we'll hop into talking about the Arrowverse cancellations next. Okay, so we have Natalie, who uses a suit, and John Henry Irons finds out about the suit in this episode. Obviously, there's a kind of father-daughter conflict again. This keeps on happening. But with that in mind, Natalie gets to actually use her suit. Like, she convinces her dad that, there is actually some worth in her having the suit. And she is even made a suit that is like even better than his. And that's even acknowledged by the AI in the episode that John Henry and Natalie work with. And it's clear, she's extremely talented and she's very adamant she needs to help. Like, she needs to do something this time, especially with the fate of the world that she's adopted at stake. She wants to do something, unlike what she was able to do on her own world. So I thought that was like an interesting part of the storyline. Then actually she finally suits up, which is so amazing. That is amazing. Like, it's so cool that she suited up, and she was the one that actually saved Superman. But thanks to the help of Chrissy, who calls in the DoD, and John Henry gets an iron. John Henry gets an irons. John Henry gets notified, and yeah, that was just like absolutely. I wasn't expecting it, but it was cool that was the way that they found out and that they got roped into the story, because I was wondering how they were going to get roped in. And I wasn't expecting Natalie to go out with her suit in this episode, but her suit looked cool and it was very exciting. I like that scene. So that's pretty much it for the Superman Lois segment of this live stream. We're going to go ahead and talk about the Arrowverse cancellations now, because this has been happening in the last month or so. It's been a while since the cancellations were announced. However, like I said at the start of the stream, we haven't previously discussed it. And so now is the time to send in any questions you have in regards to Legends, Batwoman, Naomi, any past shows or any past characters that you want to show up. Do you think it's possible that they show up? What's the best avenue for them coming back? And let's just talk about the cancellations in general and also the new shows that are coming. So we got a new trailer for Gotham Knights. That is a new show that's coming, and people say that, you know, they axed Batwoman instead, and as they chose Gotham Knights. I don't know if that's the case, but nevertheless, the trailer isn't very good, if I'm completely honest. It just looked like Riverdale meets Batwoman, but not really Batwoman, just like the Batman, Batwoman characters. That is what they're going for. And yeah, it's very much so Riverdale is like about a bunch of kids going around and trying to uncover, you know, Bruce Wayne's murderer. But I think one of the most like kind of unbelievable parts is the fact that they suspect kids to murder Batman. Like, how could you get a hand on Batman? Maybe Joker's kid, but the rest of them, yeah, I don't think you're gonna get the better of Batman. So that is like a big uh-oh in my mind as of right now. Okay. Cal Roswell sends in another super chat. Thank you once again, Cal. Cal says, I'm really hoping the Flash will wrap up Legends. Yeah, that would be cool. I made a video on that. I discussed that in yesterday's video. If you haven't seen it, or if you haven't checked out my Superman Lois video that I just released today on my review, please be sure to go check them out. They are up on the channel right now. And so, yeah, there is a possibility that maybe they wrap up Legends of Tomorrow and The Flash. That was briefly discussed with Eric Wallace, the showrunner of the show. However, that hasn't been confirmed, and he says with all the protocols in place, it's unlikely that that is actually going to happen, which is obviously sad, but that would be cool, Cal. Thank you so much for sending it in. I really appreciate it. Diego says John Diggle is returning for the Superman and Lois finale. Where did you find that? Because I haven't heard of that yet. Maybe that is new news. That would be very cool. I'm just going to have a look if that was confirmed anywhere. Oh. I don't know. Let me know. Oh, wait. Here we go. It's from TV Guide. Superman and Lois showrunner Todd Helbing has confirmed David Ramsey will return as Diggle in the end of the Season 2 finale and will lead right into Season 3. Keep in mind, we are getting answers to why the Arrowverse hero has not been mentioned on the show yet until then. Okay, so that is obviously very exciting, and that was confirmed by TV Guide. I'm sure you guys can get TV Guide in like a magazine shop near you because it's a magazine. And so, yeah, very exciting. John Diggle's coming back. That is awesome, as per usual. And apparently it's going to continue in Season 3. Maybe I'll make a video on that. That sounds like an interesting topic for later on. But yeah, it's cool. Thanks for bringing that up, Diego. I appreciate it. Okay, so Our Watch has sent in a $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much, Our Watch. Welcome back to the live streams. We are back with weekly live streams. Join us every Thursday, but today was Wednesday. I discussed that earlier. Anyway, so he says, hi, it's been a minute. Hope you're good, but thoughts on the Joker sequel? You think it could be an award-winning trilogy like The Godfather? Wow, that is big guns to pull out, being compared to The Godfather. Very successful, obviously, and great films. But I'm good, and thanks for coming back to the live stream and asking me how I am. I'm very good. I've just been busy. I have another job as well, which is filming. I discussed this earlier. So, I kind of split my time between YouTube and that. And I got super busy last month. So, yeah, that's why I slacked off. But welcome back and join the weekly live streams once again. But my thoughts on the Joker sequel, I am very excited. At first, when I saw the news that Joker was having a sequel like a couple of years ago, I was like, oh, yeah, of course they're going to do a sequel because, it made like a shit ton of money. It made over $1 billion. It was an R-rated film in America. So it was like kind of a surprise hit. Like, people expected it to do good, but it did really good. And I love Joker. I've watched Joker like 6 times, maybe. I think I watched it in the cinema about 5 or 6 times as well. Like I watched it at home like once. But yeah, I love Joker, and Joaquin is great. I'm very happy he won the Oscar, and I'm definitely looking forward to this. And you're right, it didn't cost much money to make at all the first film. I would reckon Joker 2 is going to get a higher budget because it's a sequel, and the first film did really good. They definitely are going to get a better payday, but also they're going to get more budget for the production. But yeah, I think in general it's going to continue along the same lines, along the same tone. Um, and do I think it's going to be another award-winning trilogy? Well, if it's along the same tone and it's as good as Joker, I think definitely you're going to get some awards when Joker 2 comes out. So thank you once again. I'll watch the super chat. Arrowverse scene says, a rare DCTV show live stream. Yes, that is true. We are back with weekly live streams. Very exciting. Even though super busy. Guys, if you guys didn't know, going to Paris tomorrow. I'm very excited. I've never been before, even though it's only over the water from London. But yeah, so I'm also filming next week, but we're going to find time for live streams in the evenings, no matter what. Okay, so Canada Graphs sends in a 5 Canadian super chat. Canada. That's basically America, right? I'm joking. Don't kill me. Okay, Canada Graphs says, when is Supergirl season 7? Can't wait to see it back. Your videos always make me hopeful that it will be out soon. Oh, thank you so much, Canada Graphs. I really appreciate it. Supergirl season 7 is coming soon. Fan-made season. That's what we've been working on. We've cast our own Supergirl. We've done everything. Flashverse is playing the new Jimmy Olsen, and that is how we are going to actually get season 9. We are crowdfunding it. It's going to be directed by me. We're going to be shooting it in London. Supergirl is going to be recast as a Londoner. That is what we're going to be doing. But yeah, so hopefully you're still excited about that. I'm sorry that it's not Melissa, but she's moved on, and yeah, clearly we haven't. Okay, so thank you very much for the super chat, Canada Graphs. I appreciate it, and everyone else. And I'm sorry for dissing Canada. Canada is a cool place. I want to visit it. Hopefully, maybe for Toronto Film Festival. That would be very cool. We'll have to wait and see. But let's talk a little bit about the cancellations, guys. Legends of Tomorrow got cancelled. Batwoman got cancelled. And Naomi. I think out of all of those, Naomi was the one where we're like, okay, this is definitely on the chopping block because it was not performing when it came out. And I mean, I was a little bit surprised because, it is in fact, a new show. And I was kind of like, maybe they'll give them a season 2, but no, they are being brutal right now. They cancelled everything. They cancelled stuff last month, and they were like, well, we cancelled loads of stuff, so let's just cancel more shows. And they just cancelled another CW show. I don't know what it was, but it was another CW show, and so they're just going mad. So I'm very worried about the future of the Arrowverse. Like, is any show safe? I don't know. Even the Flash is worried. Like Eric Wallace keeps on commenting, "Oh, is the show gonna be? This season could be the final season." But I think it's more like what happens if like Grant decides, oh, I don't want to do the show anymore. But I think it's more of a publicity thing where they kind of want to prepare the fans in case the Flash ends at any point. But it's not going to get cancelled. But yeah, so Legends got cancelled and Batwoman got cancelled. That was the main shocker. Oh wait, HR Canada Graph says HR just said today that they are supposed to cut $3 billion from their budget. Holy crap, that is huge. So that's explaining a lot of these cancellations. So you mean HR in terms of the CW's HR, or like Warner Brothers Productions HR, and that's why they had the cancellations? I mean, it would make sense if they need to cut down by $3 billion. They're going to get rid of those shows, like for sure. That makes sense. Wow, that is crazy. $3 billion. Holy shit. The Hollywood Reporter. Let me find it. It's the CW, right? Not just Warner Bros. Productions. I know it's all linked. Hollywood Reporter. I can't find the article, but yeah, I presume it's the CW. Anyway, yeah, so Legends cancelled. I mean, we were saying this for a long time that Legends would end. We never thought Legends would get cancelled, especially because it has such a big fan base. Even the head of the CW wasn't very much so like trying to save the shows. Like, I think he argued for them a little bit, but at the end of the day, he didn't argue enough, and they don't care enough. If they need to cut $3 billion, they're going to cut $3 billion and go for the shows that don't make them as much money. And it seems Batwoman and Legends of Tomorrow were two of those shows, and that's why they cut down on them. Okay, Scott Edwards sends in a $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much for the super chat. Scott says, do you think we'll see a Flash and Superman crossover with Black Lightning and Black Canary also, and White Canary also? Sorry, I don't know why I said Black Canary. Yeah, that's possible. I'm not gonna say it's gonna happen next season. Eric Wallace recently confirmed that there's still protocols in place, which mean they can't do a big crossover, at least right now. So they aren't planning a crossover. I would say not next season, but the season after is probably when we're going to get a big crossover. I'm very surprised by now that they haven't got rid of some of these protocols to allow crossovers, but it seems they are really sticking to their guns. I guess that's the rules in Vancouver of how the sets go still, because they don't want any like outbreaks just in case. But yeah, next season there's definitely going to be some sort of crossover. I would say the crossover is probably going to happen in the start of the season. Eric Wallace has teased that maybe a Supergirl star is going to show up. It's going to be a smaller crossover, similar to what we got with Armageddon. That is my guess, and maybe that's where you see Superman, Black Lightning, and White Canary show up alongside each other. That would be my best guess. Thank you very much, Scott, for the super chat and for coming back to the live stream. Remember, live streams every week, so don't miss out next week on Thursday. Okay, Our Watch sends in another super chat. Thank you very much, Our Watch. And just a reminder to you guys, we are ending the stream. We got about 7 minutes left. We have 2 more super chats here. If you have any final questions, send them in right now, and we'll be sure to answer them after these 2 questions. So Our Watch says, this is not DC related. He says, have you watched Elvis? I know we both feel differently about The Great Gatsby, which is an amazing story and a great movie, but did you like it? So, yeah, I think I previously said that I don't like The Great Gatsby, and you guys know I love films. Like, films is my life. I make films, I write about films, but I also talk about the Arrowverse because I love the Arrowverse. But yeah, I've seen the new Elvis film. Sorry, I need to cough. Okay, I'm back. I've seen the new Elvis film. I've seen it twice. I saw it at Cannes, so that's where I was for 2 weeks of May. I was at the Cannes Film Festival. It was awesome. I saw Elvis there in France. It was It was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was very high energy, and there was so much going for it. I loved Austin Butler. He was very great as Elvis. Tom Hanks was a pretty good villain as well. There's a lot to say about the film. Very high tempo, it goes very fast, and I think it's much better than Great Gatsby. That is my review for you. Okay, thank you very much. I'll watch. FDR says, and by sending in another super chat, a $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, FDR, for sending in this again. He says, "Do you think it's worth connecting Superman and Lois to the greater Arrowverse since not much of it is left? The Flash may only have a season or two left." I think it's worth it, honestly, FDR. I think it's very worth it to connect it, just to continue that legacy. Even if some of these shows are going away, we still have the option to have these crossovers. Like, now we got the confirmation that Diggle was showing up once again for the second time on Superman and Lois. That's going to be our technical second crossover with the Arrowverse, because apart from Diggle, we've had no crossover and like no reference. Like, I think there was one Crisis reference basically, and that's about it. So I think it's worth it, even if the shows are going away. Thank you very much for the super chat, FDR. Scott Edwards says he said they might still be in protocols. He doesn't know yet. I don't know if Canada Grouse knows anything more specific about how Vancouver sets are running right now. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So apparently it was a tweet from the reporter, from the Hollywood Reporter, who mentioned the scrapping J.J. Abrams project. I'm sure some of you guys saw that news. I don't know what project it specifically was, but I saw the tweet. And it's Warner Brothers in total, not just the CW, that is cutting the $3 billion from their production budgets. So that's definitely going to be, a huge cut down for the CW, and they're going to be looking, from the top down, what can they cancel? And that's why I think Warner Brothers has decided to cut so many of their CW shows, because realistically, it's not making a lot of money for those shows that aren't super popular. That's why they wouldn't want to cancel something like Superman, Lois, or The Flash, because they are consistently doing pretty good for the CW, especially compared to their other shows. Amy says, yes, definitely going to watch the Elvis film if you guys rate it. Yeah, go check it out, Amy. I think it's very good. Just a final couple of topics. Justice U, let's talk about that. So that is still happening. Gotham Knights is 100% coming. We're going to get a season 1 of Gotham Knights. We'll see if it sticks around or gets cancelled. I mean, at this rate, it hasn't got a very good reception to start with. I'm going to say with Justice U, we got the report recently that it is still happening. It's probably going to actually come. I think it's going to come, but it's definitely like this close to maybe not coming. I think the thing that is kind of making me believe that Justice U is actually going to have a season is because David Ramsey's behind the show, and he's been so instrumental recently to the Arrowverse. He's been directing all of the shows. He even directed Supergirl's last season. He's going to be back in the Superman Lois finale. He's directed episodes this season on that and The Flash, and I mean, he's all over the place, and he's going to come back for more. We've got the Green Lantern stuff to talk about and hopefully see very, very soon. So I feel like Justice U is coming, and I think the main thing with the cancellations is it brings into question the future of the Arrowverse and, any of these future shows. Like, technically, with 3 cancellations, we should be getting 3 new shows. We're getting 2 new shows, Gotham Knights, Justice U, potentially, and maybe one more, but nothing else is currently in development as far as I'm aware. But that pretty much does it for this live stream, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have been awesome. Thank you for all of the super chats supporting the channel. I really do appreciate it. You guys have been supporting in such a big way. You are awesome. And remember, please be sure to check out my Superman Lois review for last night's episode is up on the channel right now. You can go check it out. This live stream will be available for playback afterwards in case you missed any part of the live stream. Also, if you want to donate, there is also the link in the description below. You can do that in between streams. If you have any burning questions that you want me to answer on the next stream, there is a tip link, and you can do that, or you can just wait for the next stream. It's completely up to you guys. But that way, you will also get your question in the next live stream. 100% confirmed if you send it through the Streamlabs tip link. I would actually recommend that. I haven't actually done that before. But yeah, if you guys right now want to send in any questions for the next stream, do it. If not, just wait for the next stream, and that's totally cool with me. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. Go check out the Discord if you want to become a member. Nathan has the link in the chat. And you guys are awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Have a good night. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.